and welcome everyone to the For the Geeks Gamecast for Sunday, January 22nd. I'm one of your hosts, Jonathan Miranda. With me today is, as always, Mr. Super Sniffles and Jack the Destroyer.
What's up?
If this is your first time tuning in, I've got one question to ask you. Are you ready for some hot takes, some odd opinions, and maybe, just maybe, some downright common sense? Well, guess what, Buckaroo? You're in the right place, because today we're going to be talking about a whole bunch of stuff, including this week's layoffs in the games industry and media, The Last of Us news and reviews for the first episode, and our upcoming games calendar for 2023, and more. So if you enjoy the show, you can subscribe to our channel at twitch.tv/forthegeeksgames for our streams, or on YouTube at youtube.com/forthegeekspodcast. On our YouTube, you'll find a nice little backlog of videos and episodes that we've already recorded, as well as upcoming new content that'll be posted there as soon as we get it. So go ahead and click the subscribe link, click that bell, and then stay updated. Anytime we upload anything new, you'll get new videos. It's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and it'll keep you up to date on all of our content, as well as feed the trolls under our bed. Mainly the one that likes to tickle Jack's butthole.
Shh. He keeps coming back every night.
Oh, man. It also might help pay for Sniffle's addiction to buying toys and posing them in strange positions.
Action figures, motherfucker, and dioramas. Okay, so shh.
See, you can make anything sound promiscuous and wrong by just saying something ever so slightly ambiguous about it. And it's great.
Bitch.
You leave Barbara out of this.
Okay, aside from Barbara, Jack, how have you been lately? What's been going on with you? How's everything been?
It's been good. Been going good. Fucking partying, spending time with the family. A lot of birthdays.
I was gonna say it's been some time since we've hung out, talked, and everything since like before the holidays. Like, how were your holidays? How was Christmas? How was New Year's?
Christmas and New Year's were fantastic. Had a great fucking time. What about you guys? I didn't get to hear anything from you guys from before.
Well, okay. I'm like, who's gonna speak?
I was waiting.
Christmas. I don't really care about holidays anymore. It's like I'm at that age where it's just like, hey,
Just another
family
day?
stuff.
Yeah.
It is. Once you get to a certain age, you just don't give a shit anymore because it's for younger people.
Mhm.
And that's. I know some people are like really into like all the holidays. I'm over it. It's like it's whatever. But I had good food and shit. I don't really remember much because it was a long time ago.
I don't really. I think the phrase he was looking for is I don't remember what much because I was high the whole time.
No, I don't get high around family. Okay, I do that by myself.
On his own time.
Which sounds depressing, but it's true. Like I get high alone in my room in the dark at night. Yeah.
Alone.
No, what did I get? Well, I bought myself things for Christmas, so that made me happy. A $90 Power Rangers figure and a whole bunch of other figures for like Star Wars and shit. So that was cool. And then John gave me God of War, so that was like, okay, this is the best gift because it's a great fucking game.
Yeah, you've been enjoying that?
Oh, dude, I got to the Blades of Chaos yesterday, and I'm like, what the fuck? The effect it had on me was stronger because I didn't comprehend the word reboot like everyone else because the internet said the 2018 game was a reboot.
Yeah.
And so when I hear reboot, I'm like,
started all over.
Okay, so it's starting all over and this isn't a sequel. But then my brain is like, the Star Wars sequels are reboots, but they're sequels.
Yeah.
And it rebooted the life. And then my brain, and then I had to explain to me that it's like, oh, this is basically a reawakening something. So that's another version of reboot. And I'm like, oh, but once I got the Blades, I'm like, this is fucking cool. And
going back to
the story's just getting better.
Ooh.
And I like the father-son bond now between Kratos and Atreus, and how that's progressing because, you know, Atreus learned that he's a god and now he's literally got the god complex in his fucking head. He's like, I'm a god. We could do whatever. I'm like, this kid's taking the lesson the wrong way.
Yeah, exactly.
As Mimir is saying.
Brooks has this name for him. He likes to call him Daniel. And basically, I I forgot exactly why, but basically the whole time we're just like, damn it, Daniel, through that whole. Anyone who's played God of War 2018 knows exactly what we mean when we say that.
Yeah.
There are just so many damn it, Daniel moments in that
There
game. That
are.
it's just
Yes.
like, come on, dude.
It's like, fucking kid, come on.
Come on,
And
let's
it's
go.
just-
Get out of here. Let's go. Come on now.
And you know, like
Yeah.
it's part of his grieving process. He's so in that game in 2018, he's so young that he doesn't really comprehend having to survive the death of a family member. He doesn't, it it's definitely a different place for him as a character, Atreus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's true.
and yeah, it can be a bit gratuitous and annoying at times, but the story plays out through and through to show the growth between both Kratos and Atreus.
Watching the growth of both Kratos and Atreus is really, really nice going through the whole entire game. I was like, I wasn't expecting it to kind of like happen within this game. I was expecting it to happen within the second game, but I like seeing it. I like seeing it in this one. It was really good.
Absolutely. And so you just got the Blades of Chaos, so you're just about towards the end now.
Toward the end? Oh, are you serious?
Yeah, you're
What
getting
the
there.
fuck?
Yeah.
Once you get the Blades of Chaos, I think you're about 60%, 65% away through the story.
No,
Oh,
70.
I think
It's
you're just-
70. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
70?
So you're like,
Oh.
Yeah.
so you're like close to, yeah, you get the Blades of Chaos close to the end of the game.
I need a sequel now on PC. Fuck.
Well, I mean, with the way that Sony's working on like getting these games to PC so quickly, Returnal came out. What year is it? It's 2023. Returnal came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I think, and it's already coming to PC. Last of Us Part 1 remake came out fucking 6 months ago, and it's coming to PC. It's already on PC.
I think that's still crazy that they already remastered it or remade that shit. And I'm like, I haven't even played the first
yeah,
one.
again.
I'm gonna say we're gonna get back into that when we get
Yeah.
to the to the topic of the Last of Us news. But yes, like there's definitely a reason. I see what the reason is, and it's you're on either side of it, and I understand. But first things first, let's get into our first topic real quick and talk about it.
All right.
This week we have seen a massive surge of layoffs in the media and games media industry.
Yeah. What the fuck?
A few of these, just off the top, that I know that I put in as some of the bigger ones that seem important. Xbox specifically, 10,000 employees, around 10,000 employees were released. These are all
Jesus.
combined from Bethesda Game Studios, 343 Industries, the Coalition, and Microsoft's HoloLens business. Also, a couple engineering divisions.
HoloLens, I forgot about that.
I was right about to
those-
say, I was like, I forgot all about HoloLens.
Bro, me too. So I understand that one. I get the HoloLens drop, but
Yeah.
for those of you who don't know or who aren't as well versed, Bethesda Game Studios is the game studio that is behind games like Fallout series, the Elder Scrolls series, specifically Skyrim for those of you newer ones. 343 Industries is the team that took over for Halo after Bungie left. They were in charge of Halo 4, 5, and Infinite. And the Coalition, also a team that took over Gears of War. Or I believe they took over Gears of War. I think before it was someone else. I can't remember who though.
Got me.
Basically, everyone's been laid off. All sorts of people. There's no news on like specific positions that have been left, but this comes maybe a month or two after more recent layoffs that have been happening throughout the industry from media websites like what are they called?
I mean, even Google is going to have a
Fanbyte.
layoff, and that's not gaming. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
What the fuck?
And it sucks to see it happen, but I guess it could have something to do with the way the stock market's going right now. I mean, a lot of tech companies are crashing hard, so
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the internet, just for Microsoft's part, it just says, my macroeconomic conditions and changing customer priorities for Microsoft. And then Google's is more like, we want more of our employees to be in line with how Google's priorities are set up. I'm like, this is bullshit.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
they
This
say
is a
that
lot of bullshit.
they say that, but we all know it's corpo bullshit. Like it's definitely just them saying we're trying to cut costs, and the way to cut costs is to get rid of some people.
Exactly. Stupid.
It's fucked up, and our hearts go out to these people affected by this, because it's really tough to lose your job, especially in an industry that is so specialized like video games. On top
Mhm.
of that, in a time where finding a job is not that easy.
No.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
mean, most people that leave their jobs right now from video games are going to create their own new studio, but things that happen
Yeah.
like this leave people kind of on the doormat. And, if you're supporting family, this and that, like, there's nothing you can do in the wake of something that big. To other, or I guess three technically, other companies that had layoffs, Riot Games dropped 46 of their employees, uh,
Eh,
HR, recruitment, support, and esports divisions. On top of that, GameSpot and Giant Bomb dropped about 40 to 50 people altogether. And this is a couple months after Fandom acquired both, as well as Metacritic
Jesus.
and other companies for $55 million. Now, that one I think specifically is definitely Fandom trying to cut back on their cost after blowing the load on $55 million for a deal. Um, which sucks because like
Mhm.
Giant Bomb, is not the biggest company out there when it comes
Yeah.
to video game journalism and news industry related stuff. So that one really sucks. GameSpot is a bigger company, so yes, it's not. It doesn't take away from the fact that this sucks ass, but it's
Yeah,
like
it sucks across the
GameSpot's a
board.
GameSpot is still like an IGN. You get me? Like these people still have lives, but it is definitely a bigger company taking a hit. Um, so yeah, like how do you guys feel about this? What do you guys think is gonna from the gaming side, especially for the gaming studios? How do you think this is going to affect things moving forward? Specifically, Bethesda Game Studio with what they're doing with Elder Scrolls 6 and with um Starfall coming out just in what maybe just a few months now.
Yeah, a
They're
couple
saying first
months.
half of 2023.
Oof, that's gonna take a huge
I
hit.
don't.
Like, I feel like
y-
it's either gonna get delayed or, like, they're gonna it's like the quality of the game isn't gonna be as what it should, you know,
Yeah.
with the
Hmm.
drop of all these people and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I feel like they're just gonna like this is an excuse for leaders in the company to squeeze the underlings more because they're like, oh
Hmm.
hey, we got rid of these people so we can give you more fucking work and less money, so we can just run you into the ground like how the VFX industry works,
Hmm.
and then
Mhm.
you get like a shitty outcome, and then everyone hates you, but you don't really fucking care because the company doesn't fucking care that much because they're gonna make money either way, and that's the end of the line for them. Is like, do we break even? If we don't, then that's bad. If we do, I don't fucking care.
I mean,
Um,
Yeah.
even if they break even, there may be more cuts coming because I'm sure they're looking to turn green or turn a
oh
profit.
yeah, of course. Yeah, because you have because that reminds me of when Days Gone came out. It's a fantastic game.
Hmm.
People loved it. It broke even, but the company did not like the outcome of it, and then they just not decided not to release a sequel, unfortunately, or not work on it and just keep it in like development hell. So even if you do have a success, it doesn't guarantee your fucking future, unfortunately.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
it is uh, a novelty to mention also that it seems like 343 Industries, even with its cuts, even with the backlash that it's received on Halo Infinite, is still actually confirmed by Xbox to be working on current and new Halo games. How does that make
Which
you guys feel?
nobody likes it.
Nobody likes
Hey,
it.
that's
Nobody likes
not to
it.
say, look, that's not to say that the Halo games are inherently bad now since after Bungie left, but like Infinite had a good start. It
It
did
did
start off
have a good
really well.
start.
It did. It did. I was there. Yeah.
And in turn, as time went on, the support was not there for it. So like
That's what I heard. Yeah.
imagine like Final Fantasy 14 for you, Sniffles. Like imagine
Oh,
they put out a real good hit at the beginning and then they kind of just dropped on content for
I'd be
you
so
know,
sad.
I get it. It's an MMO. It's a little bit different. The size of the teams are different, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a game without being able to put out consistent content, especially when you promise this content at certain times. I mean,
Yeah.
not to mention that the game did launch. While it was well received when it did launch, there were things missing from the game, such as its co-op, its
Yeah. Mhm.
Forge, custom games, all that shit.
Yeah.
So, how do you guys think moving forward? A lot of these Xbox things, the coalition's also working on a new Gears of War game. Um, what do you guys foresee in the future right now? What do you think our year is going to look like, especially with the developer direct coming next week?
Definitely say delays. There,
Yes. Yeah.
I'm highly betting that there are going to be delays. Gaming like companies nowadays just love delays. Ubisoft, the
Oh
You-
fucking
God! Oh, here.
skull and bulls. Oh, we're gonna fucking delay this shit a 6th time.
Oh my-
Why?
That's what I heard.
Speaking
That's
of
what that was.
Ubisoft,
God.
there was also news this past week about Yves Guillemot, the I believe he's the CEO or he's the head of Ubisoft, talking about all their budget cuts and everything that's happening over at Ubisoft, and basically saying, "Hey, like the reason things are going bad is because of you game studios. You guys, we're putting it all on you. You guys got to get your shit together, basically." And then doubling back on it a couple days later and saying, "That's not really what I meant. What I meant was that like we're all in this together."
Oh,
Blah blah
wow.
blah blah.
Oh,
Like, yeah, it was bad.
wow,
And it was
dude.
right after they started. It was like a day or two after they started announcing delays for certain games.
Trying
Which,
to save
speaking
face.
of Skull and Bones, the sixth, what is it? The sixth delay?
Yeah, the
Seventh
6th fucking delay. Oh my God. I've never heard of that in the history of gaming. I've never heard a company delay a game 6 you can't like you couldn't get away with that shit in Hollywood, for example. You can get away with like 1 delay, 2 any further than that, you're gonna lose investors. Like,
Oh yeah,
fucking A.
that's definitely a big, huge investor hit.
I'm definitely never playing Skull and Bones.
Yeah, I feel like it's
I
just
was
gonna be
already
like that, like crazy delays. With
Mhm.
companies nowadays, like they love to announce, like, oh, we got this new game coming out. Oh, we got this game coming out this date, and they have a date and everything, like a time frame.
Yeah.
And the next thing you know, it's like, oh, sorry, we want to make the game perfect, so we're gonna delay you a whole nother year.
And then following that, people are like, "Oh, it's okay. I trust the company. They know what they're doing." It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not
fucking,
okay.
just fucking stick to what you say.
Exactly.
For fuck's sake. It's
And
not
if you're-
that hard.
And if you're not gonna stick to what you say, don't put out a date.
Big
Like,
facts.
I'm all for people announcing games, but when you put a date to something or give us a release window and you can't like conform to that release window, then we've got a problem.
Yeah.
They're basically being it when they do that. You're being like Disney, and that's how they ruined Star Wars. They had release dates with no fucking script or plan or anything. They're just like, okay, it's going to come out in 3 years on this day. And then you have the worst production ever and the worst story ever. And the same thing applies to any other medium.
Mhm.
You got to have a plan, which these companies don't seem to fucking have. And then the game comes out and it's terrible.
Mhm.
Oh
So-
shit. I mean, it's not even like they don't seem to have, it's just like they don't seem to care about it.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh, put it on another one. Put it on another game. It's fine.
CD Projekt Red.
Oh, okay. No, well, CD Projekt Red was forced by its investors basically to put the game out.
They
On
were taking
the,
too fucking long.
on the other hand, they could have taken a little while. If we had given Cyberpunk 6 more months to release, like they took the game off the market for 6 months, it would have probably released in a way and in a shape that would have been much better than what we got at its launch. It was a shit launch. And it's a great game. It is a really good
I
game.
still want to try that. I still want to play that, but I just felt bad right when I seen it happen. I was like, bro, for the people who are actually waiting on this game, you know,
Mhm.
like,
Yeah.
like really hardcore waiting on this game. I'm like, I feel bad for those because they have to deal with all that bugs and shit like that. Like, it was horrible.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's totally so much better right now. So definitely
yeah.
give it a try, Jack.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
But
Shit, not
I was
just Jack,
gonna
everybody.
well, yeah. But no, I was gonna say the same thing applies to the GTA 3 Definitive Edition.
Mhm.
Horrible launch, ugly as fuck,
Mhm.
and then they even took it off Steam, and then it comes back a year later, and they fixed it because I go to Steam and I'm like, what the fuck? This is still here, and all 3 games have mostly positive.
Okay.
And I looked at mods. People they put in like really good texture mods and
Okay.
graphic mods. There's some things you can't fix. Like I never played any of those because I was too young.
Mhm.
But some of the character models they couldn't fix, which is fine. That's Rockstar stuff. But
Yeah, there's not much you can do in that sense, really. I mean,
yeah,
when it comes down to it at the end of the day, there's
But-
problems that just can't be fixed by a mod.
yeah. But because they took time to fix it after the shitty launch, I
Mhm.
bought it because it was on sale yesterday. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna buy all these 3 games
Oh,
so I
nice.
can finally try because it looks better than it did a year ago.
Yeah.
So sometimes, yeah, I agree. Sometimes just half a year or a couple more, months will really iron out all the kinks to a game. But investors do want their shit now because they're supplying the money and whatnot.
Yeah. So, a heart goes out to all the people affected by this. We really hope the best for everybody.
His
I
heart.
know.
Yeah.
I know. I'd be fucking devastated if that happened to me. I'd be like,
It's a heavy hit.
it's a heavy hit. Just losing a job at all, you know?
I mean, Uncle Neil, he got laid off when he used to fucking work for Activision. He got laid off when they merged with when they had
Blizzard.
their thing with they got laid off when they were doing stuff with Infinity Ward. Like around that time, he got let go, and he was fucking pissed too because he's like, I've been here 20 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, there goes my free games.
Well, I mean, we all joke about it, but at the end of the day, it's just like, look at how Activision treats its employees, especially loyal ones. 20 years Uncle Neil worked there and
just so
cut
long
for no fucking reason. Like,
bye. Yeah,
bullshit.
It's shitty.
Yeah. He was a networking manager. Yeah.
Oh man, Call of Duty sure could have used that.
I know, right? God,
fucking jackasses.
Fuckers.
Fix your fucking internet.
But yeah, so that's my thought on all that.
Right on. Next up, we've got The Last of Us.
Great TV show.
Amazing TV show. And I know, Jack, I didn't get you the stuff in time, so
No,
you weren't able to kind of like dig into it. But next week we'll talk about it because
well, I mean, we could say the stuff that are in the game
that
are similar. That's not really a spoiler.
Well, I'm not worried about spoilers. I have not played the game. Don't worry about
what the fuck?
That's what I'm saying. I have not played the game. I maybe watched someone play like 4 playthroughs of it, like, and it was like an hour long.
4.
Each one.
4 playthroughs.
Yeah, well, no,
maybe you can plug your ears
of the
and then we
playthrough.
can talk about it.
4 episodes.
Okay,
of the, yeah. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, no. So I watched a little bit about it. So don't worry about spoilers, boys.
Okay. Well, it was more about talking about it, but we're going to table the actual full discussion for the show until next week.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there on, we're going to do weekly recaps of each episode on each podcast.
Okay, good.
On both the podcast and Gamecast. Because, I mean, it's a big thing right now, and it's a hot topic, I'm sure.
It's a
we
fantastic
can
adaptation.
Somebody to fucking watch it. Oh, yes.
I've seen a lot of great reviews on that, too. That's why I was like, damn, I want to see this.
Yeah.
The only problem I really had with episode 1, and I talked to Uni about this week, was that we were talking like, how did you feel? Like, how did the whole thing go down? And I was like, honestly, it was great. It was fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
It was the most faithful adaptation I've seen in so long. And my only problem was, as soon as we hit that halfway point, a little bit into the 20 years later portion of the first episode, is where we start getting this little disconnect where it feels like they're kind of just like thinning it out and it feels rushed.
Yeah.
And I didn't enjoy that in the last, maybe like, I want to say like 20-30 minutes of it. I didn't enjoy the feeling of being rushed, but I understood where, I understand, having played the game multiple times, I understand how they're trying to get through it, and it's going to be interesting to see where they go with the next few episodes, especially this week's episode, which comes out tonight because we're recording on a Sunday at 9 p.m. So I expect you all to be caught up and watch it, which I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's no reason for us to not watch it. It's so good.
It is.
One thing actually I will ask about it for now is, how did you feel the artistic design lived up to it, Sniffles?
It worked. I loved every bit of it. I don't have any qualms with the first episode. I thought it was spot on and faithful to the game and all of that. Like within the first like 20 minutes when like all the shit is hitting the fan.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
oh my God, this
is exactly what would fucking happen. This is kind of what fucking happened with, COVID. When that shit hit, it's like all this panic and nobody knew what the fuck to do. I'm like, this is basically that plus global warming and, deadly zombie fungi.
Yeah.
But I thought it was the artistic direction was great. They did a great job with the costumes. They did a great job with the aesthetic, like especially the final shot of the episode, the pan up to the city. I'm just okay, this looks beautiful. I'm like, this is good CG or whatever the fuck they're doing with it. It's probably CG.
It looked like CG.
I don't have any problem with it. It looks beautiful. I personally love like apocalyptic scenery like that, because I follow like some art pages on Instagram that do dystopian futures as art pieces, and it looked pretty damn realistic to me in the Last of Us episode. So good job on that, HBO.
Oh yeah.
HBO doesn't really have, well, besides Velma, it doesn't really have misses when it comes to shows. Like Black Sails was fantastic. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
I thought Black Sails
Oh,
was Stars.
Never mind. Yeah, that's Stars. Okay, I meant Game of Thrones, except for last season. House of Dragon, Curb Your Enthusiasm, and now The Last of Us, and probably there's other shows. The Batman was on fucking HBO.
Yeah,
Even though it was like streaming service, it's still there. They don't.
Well, it was
they don't
part
have
of
a lot
Warner
of L's.
Brothers, the Discovery merger, all that crap.
They don't have a lot of L's, so they know what they're doing. I wish the other streaming services that take over as like this is a part of us, like Netflix. I wish they would learn stuff, but Netflix doesn't fucking learn.
To be fair, they've got a lot of funding they can get because of their whole partnership with Discover. So I'm sure there's a lot of money that comes from that.
Yeah.
On top of, just being HBO. HBO's been around as linear television for fucking ever. But there is one thing that we do have to talk about that does a little disturb me just ever so slightly about this. And that is this. This is going to be a story I pulled from gamesindustry.biz by Brendan Sinclair. And this has to go with problems on crediting. So, Bruce Straley, the game director on Naughty Dog's 2013 action game The Last of Us, is not credited on HBO's recent live-action adaptation of the series, and he's not happy about it. In an LA Times story this week that described his relationship with Naughty Dog as strained, the Wildflower Interactive founder said the show's lack of acknowledgement for his contribution has him rethinking the debate over unionization in the industry. It's an argument for unionization that someone who was the part of the co-creation of the world and those characters isn't getting a credit or a nickel for the work they put into it, Straley said. Maybe we need the unions in the video game industry to be able to protect creators. Naughty Dog co-president and creative director on the original game, Neil Druckmann, received co-creator and executive producer credits on the HBO series. Wow. So how would you feel if all your hard work got torn to shit? Like, imagine not getting credited on this, not receiving any type of royalty on it, having the creative, the creative, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? The creative something.
Protection?
Somebody help me.
I don't know where you're trying to go with it.
Neither do I.
No, but I understand
like the intellectual
what you mean.
property,
Yeah.
like the creative
the
intellectual
IP.
property. Like it belongs to part of you. Like you are in part
You worked
totally
on it.
responsible for this. Like these characters in this game and this series
Yeah.
would not exist without you. How would you feel about that?
I'd be pissed. I mean, I understand what it's like to work in a non field that doesn't have a union. Fucking the VFX industry in Hollywood does not have a fucking union, and there's no protection there. You fuck up, you're gone. There's no. So I hate that there are fields that are like this, and there's no possible way to get. As much as it would be cool to have a union, a lot of people just wouldn't like allow it to happen in this case. I'd be fucking mad because I create artwork, for photography and Photoshop. If I didn't get credit, I'd be fucking furious.
Yeah, exactly.
Furious. I get furious when people use photos of my shit on the internet and they don't tag me. This is why I put a watermark on my photos. So if they crop it, you can tell that I have the original because that section is revealed on my original. Plus, I embed metadata into the files so that can just follow the photo through the internet. So yeah, I find that unacceptable that they didn't credit, the creator and whatnot. So that's not cool at all.
Yeah, no. When it comes to the unionization, it's something that studios in the industry have been trying to work towards for the last 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. And it gets shut down a lot. For example, most recently, Bethesda owns Raven, right?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Raven.
What the fuck is Raven?
It's a game studio. Raven, they used to work on a whole bunch of old Tomb Raider games, some other stuff. They're an older studio. Anyways, their QA team was able to unionize, and I think maybe a couple of months after it got past the unionization phase and everything, they closed down the studio.
Damn.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow.
So it just brings us back to the overarching large topic of, one, yes, why do we need unionization? There's our example right there. You need unionization to protect these workers. Same thing with the the layoffs in the industry earlier. All these people from all these studios just get dropped for what? Because somebody wants to make more money at the top end of it.
That and well, I can also I just had a thought like trying to be advocate here of like
Hmm.
why a union is a bad idea.
Hmm.
Cuz on a separate account like my dad, he has somebody that works in his office that causes nothing but problems and
Uh-huh.
is unionized.
Yeah.
He can't get this woman fired no matter how much she fucks up and his boss can't fire her.
Yeah.
So if that is an aspect for the gaming industry or even VFX as to why they don't have unions, that part I can understand. If you have people dicking around and you can't fire them because they're
Mhm.
protected and you
Yeah.
need to like they would have to like, kill somebody to get fired. That's stupid in my opinion. They'd have to like somehow have like a contract within the union to make sure that
Well,
they're
Go around
you know
this whole roundabout.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
coming
'Cause
from
that's the bad side on that.
coming from my own personal job, I in my industry, it is the same way. Like there's balances and checks to help unions work, and I get it. I understand why the union is necessary because I've seen both sides of it. I've seen
Mhm.
the side of the union where they're protecting people who shouldn't be protected because of
Oh
the
yeah.
quality of work and the everything else. Like I get it. You've been here 20 years. That doesn't mean you don't do your job. Like at the end of the day, that's what it is. What it is. But I also see the upside of it from the management perspective, where I've seen people abuse their power to get things to happen to people who
Mhm.
already work themselves to the bone,
Hmm.
and it's not fair. They
Yeah.
deserve fair wages just as much as the other person, but they also, I believe, they should also put in these at least the same amount of work.
Yes.
So I understand where the worry is for unions, but excuse me, in a s- in an industry like video games where I don't feel there's much room for you to kind of lollygag around,
Mhm.
like there's definite and realistic physical like consequences to not doing your job in this industry.
Mhm.
I don't believe that unions would become a place of harboring people who are just like lazy and lackadaisical, because the people that work on most of these games work their whole fucking lives on these games.
Oh
They
yeah.
Yeah.
put everything into it.
Put their heart and soul
So
into that.
Mhm.
that's just my devil's advocate side of it, of saying being pro union for this industry specifically. Because there's probably
Me too.
physical labor involved, but I would imagine that most of it is writing code and reading code and working systems and stuff like that. And it's making sure that developers are given the means to accomplish a goal, and on top of accomplishing their goal, being able to survive accomplishing that goal without having crunch, without having all sorts of other like things that have become so naturally ingrained in this industry.
Mhm.
Excuse me. But
Yeah.
yeah, um it sucks to see that. Sucks to see Bruce Straley get shafted there, kind of. I don't know what their relationship is. I know it's strained, but I don't know like what the actual like personable relationship is between him and Neil Druckmann. And I know there's a bunch of fans out there that you either love or you hate The Last of Us 2, basically. And I know a good majority of my friends don't really like what Neil Druckmann does with The Last of Us without everything else. So there's that. We could, Neil Druckmann could be this person, could be that person. I don't know. I've never met him. I haven't even talked to him, so I can't even say that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So if you're out there, Neil Druckmann, and you want to clear this up, come down. I'll put you on. I swear to God.
That'd be funny.
All right. And moving on to the last half of our show, or last whatever it is,
Segment.
let's talk about what games we're looking forward to in the first half of 2020.
Oh.
Oh, well, I wanted to say the full year of
Like,
2023,
I have
but
a
there's
list of the full
actually a
year.
lot. There's a lot of stuff coming out in
There is a
2023 to look
lot.
forward to.
Confirmed.
I was just gonna filter it down to the first half, so we had kind of like the next 6 months to explain the next 100 games we want to play.
Well,
Go
for
ahead.
me,
You go first. You go first.
Oh, okay. Well, for me, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm really looking forward
Now,
to.
don't just tell us what you're excited for. Tell us why you're excited.
I'm
about it.
going to, motherfucker. Cut me off. God damn it.
I just want to make that very clear. I didn't want people
I'm
to be like,
excited
this
for
is my
this and
10.
excited for this, and I'm
Hella
done.
excited
No,
for
Exactly.
fucker. Well, Dead Space, but that's another thing. No, Hogwarts Legacy. I'm excited because the last time I played a a Harry Potter game, it was Half Blood Prince, and the game was fucking terrible. All those old Harry Potter games. Well, the first two were fun because you got to explore the Hogwarts castle on. Well, I played it on PC, but usually movie games suck because they just recreate the story, and it's boring. So playing my own create a character in Hogwarts will be fucking cool because then I can actually go through the sorting process. Fuck the Pottermore version that said I'm Hufflepuff. I don't agree with that shit. I would love to be Slytherin, but anyway, I've been looking forward to it because I love Harry Potter. I love the whole universe and everything. So I'd like to see more of that in the Hogwarts Legacy thing. And I find it funny that like it's dark, but like you can you can cast the killing curse and the other curses on fellow students. And I'm like, this is terrible, but it's still fun to be able to like they went to like an INI file on PC and they changed the cooldown time for Avada Kedavra. So he was just spamming Avada Kedavra like in the beta or gameplay video on YouTube. I'm like, this is bullshit. He was one-shotting trolls and other wizards. I'm like, what the fuck?
Killing everyone.
That's messed up.
Hell yeah. But that's fun. I want to do that in Chaos Run, but I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Jedi Survivor for sure because it's Star Wars. I look forward to all Star Wars games except Eclipse because I'm pretty sure that's going to be like a storytelling game like fucking Detroit Human and Heavy Rain. Those
And
boring
you don't
shits.
like that?
What? Bitch, I want to just watch the fucking movie. That's why The Last of Us game itself is not a great game. It's a fucking movie. The whole thing is a movie. Days Gone is a better zombie game than Last of Us. Hot ass take. Fight me, bitches.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's another cast.
I don't know about that one.
That's another cast.
That's another cast.
It is.
I was gonna
But
say
no,
that's good. I like that.
I am looking forward to Last of Us on PC because I'd like to play it with updated graphics and everything on my computer. It's
out already.
I don't have it, motherfucker. So shut up.
To be fair, if I had known it was going to come out so soon, I might have gotten you that instead of God of War for Christmas.
No. God of War is better. It's so much better. I don't need Last of Us on PC as much as I need God of War.
It's
fair.
better.
Yeah. But I'm also like I'm trying to pick out the biggest. Octopath Traveler 2. That's another one I'm excited for this year.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh yeah.
I didn't play much of the first because I got distracted, which is always my problem with another game. But I was enjoying it because you don't see a lot of 2.5D graphics in games, and that is a niche graphic thing that I really like. It's pixelated, and then you have 3D backgrounds and all the sprites. It's like fucking playing Golden Sun again. I love that game on the GBA when I played that shit and got motion sickness in the car, but it looked beautiful because it combined 3D and 2D graphics perfectly. And no, other games do that too with not as well as Octopath, but I know they do that with high quality sprites with like Legend of Heroes, like Trails in the Sky, like those games, which that has an anime, but yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to Crime Boss, Dead Island 2, Diablo 4, all the good shit for this year, especially Diablo 4, because I love the Diablo lore. I love when you take either religion or some form of mythology and you turn it into a fantastic story. Like for Diablo, that's always been the selling point for me. I get to see, the forces of heaven and hell killing each other. Like this is a cool concept story-wise, because a lot of people don't really touch that because it's religion. So yeah, I'm looking forward to those games this year.
Nice. Interesting. All right. Jack, what about you? What are you looking out for?
Oh man, I'm honestly really, really excited for Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh yes. I was hoping you were gonna say that.
Yeah, I'm real excited for that. I'm excited that we're still using the same map, but we're going to the sky. Like the whole island's floating around now.
It makes me wonder how much of it is going to be like utilized. Like how much of that upper kingdom, I guess you could say, is going to be actual like playable area. Like how is it going to be like Skyward Sword, where you had like a few islands kind of just floating around in the sky? or is it going to be like an actual place you can like explore and really like travel through?
I didn't like Skyward Sword. I didn't like the graphic style that they went with Skyward Sword, so I never played it.
A lot of people did.
Right when I knew the guy, like they're like, oh, Majora's Mask, Ocarina of Time, fucking Wind Waker, combine the graphic. I'm like, no, you went from Twilight Princess.
No, that was a bad idea.
Yeah, you went from Twilight Princess, which had amazing graphics, would look so the style, and then going to freaking Skyward Sword. I was like, oh, you guys just went down here. Like, no. It's like, no go, bro.
I mean, realistically, like Skyward Sword, it was on sale this Christmas, so I was like, you know what? I've never played it. It's supposedly actually a really good Zelda game. It's supposed to be one of the better ones, surprisingly. But I was on the same boat as you. I'd never touched it. I never played it. Didn't care about it, mostly because it was on the Wii U and I didn't have one, so I didn't
have that either.
I didn't have the Wii U. No, I just had a Wii.
It was also partially because like I didn't like the graphics. I didn't like how they looked. It bothered me.
Yeah.
Once you get past the graphics in it and you kind of just like focus only on the story and the gameplay.
Yeah.
Then you kind of get it. You're kind of able to get really into it, and it's actually really fun. Like its fighting system is super cool because if you take off the Joy-Cons, you control which way you slash. So like if you wipe your Joy-Con up like diagonally, he slashes diagonally in the direction you swipe.
That's cool. That's cool.
It's like
it has
it's
some like
super
it has
cool.
some like interactive movement with it. That's awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And on top of that, it's just the story seems really neat. I always thought it was kind of dumb, but I'll get back to that when I finish the game, and I'll let you guys know what I really think about it.
Okay.
All right.
And then
what else you got though?
I got Dead Island 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. See, there you go. Real zombie game right now.
I was gonna say, are we gonna get together and are we gonna actually play Dead Island 2 and run around and kill things?
If it's on PC, if you play on PC,
yeah.
I would assume at this point in life, most things are going to be cross-platform.
We were just talking about that, me and my homies on Arc for that. We were so pissed off again that we were trying to join all of us, and it's like, oh, it's not cross-platform with PlayStation. Yeah.
Well, no.
What the fuck?
It's not crash. It's not cross-platform unless you choose a PC server. Remember, you have to use it. You have to go to a PC-only server. Then it's cross-platform.
Is that what we did?
Yes, that's what we did.
Oh my!
What we did was we went cross-platform. We didn't go cross-platform. We made the custom server, a PC server, and because it was a PC server, it allowed us to play with all sorts of other people, as long as they had the intro point into it. So.
That's crazy.
It just happened to be that we were all playing on PlayStation.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, because we were trying to figure that out earlier. We couldn't get we couldn't get it at all. Like none of the servers were lining up. We're like, what? Like I guess only PC can play with Microsoft shit.
Superior.
You just got to set up on a PC only, like on a PC server. So if you find a PC server to play on the PlayStation side, you guys should be able to link up there.
Okay.
I'm sure it's not simple, but it's doable.
Yeah. Then of course, Steger mentioned this earlier, but Dead Space remake.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
We are 5 days away from it right now.
Oh my
god. I can't wait.
Really excited for that again.
That's how you do a horror game.
For reals. Original horror. That's so nice, dude.
It's kind of sad to see that Callisto Protocol didn't perform as well as I
wasn't
hoping.
Expecting that. Yeah.
I was very optimistic considering the background of each of the people or of the people on the team and everything. And I don't think it had anything to do with necessarily the story itself. It had more to do with the mechanics of the game.
Yeah, I feel like that
combat.
Yeah, I feel like that was rushed again. Like, hey, get out there. Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, to be fair, like, to be absolutely fair, this is Striking Distance's first video game as a studio. Like, this is their initial jump into the industry, and for it to do as well as it did as a first game, it's freaking amazing. But it's just it did not live up to what everyone put up in their head.
I'm just glad that they handled the situation. Like they didn't just like oh, we know of the issue. Okay, well, yada yada. No, they were just like, oh, hold on, give us a sec. We'll be buffering it out on PC. We know you guys are lagging on PC. We'll handle it. Like they let us know. Some companies, they don't even tell you shit. They won't even announce their shit's fucked up. They will just like on the side note do it alone.
Yeah, have fun, mod community.
Yeah, exactly.
Sidebar, John, you're wrong. The Last of Us is not out on PC. Bitch, it's out in March. Anyway.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then
I knew it was. I saw it, so I just figured. I saw it on Steam.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway, Sons of the Forest. Ooh.
But yeah,
Oh,
no.
yeah.
What is that?
It's the sequel or follow up to The Forest.
Oh, that's right, that game. And I saw like there's like a video clip where there's like an AI companion that helps you out. And
Yes.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was right.
I never
See,
played
I
The
was
Forest.
tripping out about that. I was like, is that really?
Really?
Can I really have a hoochie lady fight with you? Well, a multi-armed hoochie.
Yeah.
It was weird. I seen her with a shotgun. I was like, what the hell? Is she my hoochie? Oh, she's protecting my base? Let's go!
It's gonna be great. You're just gonna give a shotgun to each hand.
I did
crazy.
not
It's gonna be
think
a
about
walking
that.
shotgun broom closet.
Jesus.
Oh
That'll
my
be helpful.
God, that reminds me of
Yeah.
freaking The Suffering. There's a monster like that. He had like rifles on his back, the marksman.
Yeah.
No,
that's
dude.
I forgot
creepy
about The
game.
Suffering.
Dude, you said
That's
that.
a fucking horror game.
That gave me nightmares.
Mm-hmm.
I want them to do a remaster of that. Why don't they remake that?
That would be fantastic.
Right?
Who made it?
I don't know.
That I don't know.
Let's see.
That's a Google that. Who made The Suffering?
I feel like we talked about this. Surreal.
We did. We talked
Software.
about this in October, I believe.
Yeah.
Surreal Studio. Who owned them, or who bought them out? Midway Games. Ooh.
Midway. It's pretty mid.
Who bought out
Pretty
Midway?
mid.
Warner Brothers Interactive.
That's also mid.
You've got a halfway decent chance of somebody in Warner Brothers saying, "Hey, y'all remember that when we used to make horror games?"
Y'all remember that?
Let's do another.
Let's do it again.
You have a halfway decent chance. I don't know if we'll ever see it, but you got a decent chance compared to other games to get a remake of that. We'll see what happens when one of my favorites comes out.
Mm-hmm. I think that's
Which is-
all. Yeah, no, I think that's all that I can remember right now.
Wicked. There's good choices. All of those things I am excited for.
Yeah, I know you're really excited for Forspoken, John, because you want that to be.
I
good
am.
Here. It's not.
I'm very.
I
I
already
don't.
bet you.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
you know.
I am super excited for Forspoken. I've played the demo and I think there are some things that could be changed about it. But in the grander scheme of things, if Starfield doesn't end up being, if Starfield ends up getting pushed, and
Definitely is.
what do you call it? What is that? Forza Motorsport, Final Fantasy VI.
Forza.
So here, let me go through this first. Things I'm super excited for this year right now.
Mm-hmm.
The Resident Evil 4 remake. For sure, I'm super excited for that. I've been waiting for that to get remade because I didn't want to go back and play the old one. Not to be rude, but it's just like, come on, it's an old game. Old game is old. Let's just move on.
Yeah.
I would like to play Call of the Mountain, the Horizon game, but I don't know if I'm willing to spend the $550 for PSVR 2.
Jesus
Oh my
Christ.
God.
But I'm excited to see what happens with it, right? Because right now it doesn't look like Sony's really putting it all in again. So the PSVR 2 could essentially become a dead console
Yeah.
accessory, which would really kill me.
That would suck.
It'd be really sad, but I have steeled myself. I'm prepared for it.
It would be hilarious to watch
Oculus.
you play it though. Not
Oh,
gonna-
dude, I will wait, and once it goes on sale, I might buy it.
Nice.
I'm gonna need to find a really big room though, because I don't know if my room's big enough for that.
I was gonna say
Mine isn't either. You could just sit in your chair and just roll around.
It's not the same. I gotta stand up and
yeah, I
pretend
know.
like I'm falling. Like I have to eat shit. It's not funny if I don't.
I was
eat
gonna
shit
say I
when
would
I'm
laugh.
already
falling.
done
Just see
that.
him run into the closet. It just
Exactly.
on instinct, you know.
Yes. On instinct,
Yeah,
trying to
just like,
side
move
dodge,
up, yeah.
yank my PlayStation 5 with me across the room, fall over.
I
my
would
God.
die. You know the support from that, just people watching that, you would already make another one back.
Oh my
For
god.
sure.
As mentioned, Forspoken is definitely one of my hot picks and
Mhm.
maybe hot take for this year, but I think it's got it. I don't think it's got it. I don't think it's got it out of the gate like Elden Ring had it out of the gate. But I think that if Luminous Productions or not fixes, but like makes the changes they need to coming up with it, I think it's going to be really fucking good. One of the writers is somebody I actually a presence in this games industry stuff that I follow. He's on the Kind of Funny team. His name's Gary Whitta. He was part of the writing team that wrote Rogue One. Um, I'm super, super excited to see what the story in this game is. I know that this game, off the bat in its demo, had its problems, but I think Luminous Productions can make it fit. Make it fit. It's basically an isekai. Your
Hmm.
your character gets thrown from the real world into fantasy world, and then you become a witch mage thing. And
Warlock.
so far through the demo, like the traversal, it feels all right. It's not terrible. It doesn't feel bad. The combat itself could be picked up with a couple other things, but it's not absolutely bad. Like it's not so bad that you would feel it. It feels more full than Final Fantasy 15 did.
Okay. Isn't it?
It
Doesn't it come
feels
out in like
more.
2 days?
Yes, it comes out on January 24th.
Okay.
So I'm very excited to see what it comes out as. They did an update to the demo. They actually updated the demo with a patch to kind of show off what it's actually capable of.
Yeah.
And from what I've been playing since that patch, it has been fun, and it's actually enough to want to deter me from finishing God of War Ragnarok and play the demo because I actually have fun playing it. So I'm not throwing it out of the basket yet, but
Yeah.
I think it's got a tough fight ahead of it. And I think if the story and the narrative parts of this game are good enough, it might be able to weasel its way into Game of the Year. And if not into Game of the Year, at least into the conversation of it. Definitely excited for Dead Space. That one comes out in 5 days. And
Oof, Dead Space.
I think it's going to be cool. But one I'm more excited for is Atomic Heart. Atomic Heart is that Soviet set BioShock like first person shooter.
Wait a minute.
I believe in the videos you saw of it most recently, your main character is running around fighting that giant like silver ball like robot monster that kind of looks like the bad robot from The Incredibles.
Yeah, this fucking game looks trippy.
Yeah.
Atomic Heart looks super fucking cool. It is Mick Gordon, the composer for Doom, is writing the music for this game.
Oh shit! Okay, that's an automatic sell right there.
It should be really cool. The developer explains it as Soviet style pop meets juicy Doom style remixes.
Nice.
I don't know what that means, but I want to know.
Sounds cool, so we'll buy it.
It's a first person shooter with like BioShock style stuff. So you'll have like little powers you can use and guns and all that stuff. It looks really fucking cool.
Nice. I'm down.
On top of that, I am excited for Octopath Traveler 2. That one should be pretty fun. It should be a good time, a good romp through a JRPG, as I like to call it. Speaking of JRPGs, I'm actually currently playing Grandia as well on the Switch, and I forgot that game was actually really fun.
I don't know what that is.
It's an old RPG, old JRPG. Yeah. Resident Evil 4 remake. I'm super excited for that. If it's anything like they've done with Resident Evil 2 and 3, it's gonna knock it out of the park, and it's probably gonna be up on there for people's Game of the Year conversation for sure. Like hands down.
Speaking of JRPG, did you ever play Grand Blue Fantasy? Any of those? Oh, did you see the new trailer for Relink?
I did not see that trailer.
Yeah, I didn't know that this game was still existing because I heard about it a while ago and they didn't update it, and then they finally put out a trailer, and they're thinking by the end of the year,
nice.
Relink will come out. So the new trailer looks really good.
Nice. I've been playing the fighting game version of it, and I'm enjoying that.
That's right, there is a fighting game.
Grand Blue Fantasy Versus. It's actually really fun. It's super good, and I wish I had all the characters. I just don't. I can't. With my next choice coming out in the next few months in June, I can't, in good conscience, spend money on a fighting game that I'm going to drop in June when Street Fighter 6 comes out. I can't.
That's your thing.
I cannot, in good conscience, say that I'm going to put more money into a fighting game when I'm going to not be playing it in a few months. And it's far too late. Well, I won't say it's far too late, but it's like it's so late in the life cycle of the game that I don't know if like trying to be good at it and practice it is worth my time. It's a fun game, and I definitely have fun playing it when I have the chance to. But I can't do competitive with it. Like it would literally
it's not your
just
specialty.
Be me, like fucking around. Let's see. I also had one down here. Where is it? Where is it? Oh yeah, Kill the Justice League comes out this year. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that I have to buy that just because it's Conroy's last performance. Yeah,
That is one of the things that I have to buy it for. But
and Rocksteady.
I have to buy it because of Rocksteady, and I need to know that Rocksteady can still make an Arkham game.
Yep.
So if this game does well and what it should do, it's gonna make fucking Gotham Knights look like child's play.
I mean, Arkham Knight makes Gotham Knights look like child's play.
I mean,
That's an older game.
You guys see that? What was it? The Lord of the Rings.
Arkham Asylum makes it look like child's game.
I don't know about the Arkham Asylum one.
Golem?
That one's a stretch, buddy.
I remember
That was a bit of a stretch.
Then stretch on.
Because that game, Arkham Asylum, is a 3D Metroidvania, and it feels like a 3D Metroidvania in the most dated sense of the word. Final Fantasy 16, another one, a very dark revenge-based story coming from. It's going to be a semi-open world game, I guess. So it shouldn't be like Final Fantasy 15, where you kind of just explore everywhere.
Be more linear.
It'll be a bit more linear, so that leads me to believe that the narrative itself is going to be a lot more in depth and a lot more fulfilling than 15's. I just, the open road trip with your boys story just did not vibe with me.
I liked it because I'm into that shit.
It's
bro time, man. It's for your bros.
It was cool, but it just like, at a certain point, you get to a point where you're just like, come on, man. You guys got much more important things to do than be bros on the road.
Your bros are important. Bros before hoes.
Hollow Knight Silk Song is planned for the first half of this game.
Yes.
Do not know if it will actually happen
this year.
But according to Microsoft, it's supposed to happen. So we'll wait. Redfall's coming out. Redfall should be cool. But for sure, Starfield.
What?
Definitely excited for Starfield.
Same.
I don't know what's going to happen, if it's going to feel like it's a No Man's Sky clone or if it's going to actually feel good. I don't know. I just
that is the problem with those with having, okay, I'm going to use this term, vastly open world game versus normal open world. Like normal open world, you're on one planet. Okay, vastly giant, galaxy and universe. The problem with vast is you have to make each other planet feel fucking unique instead of just copy paste. Because even I get tired of that in No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky has 30 different biomes and shit, and then you'll go to different variants of those biomes. Like, okay, maybe it'll have acid rain here, maybe there'll be different colored atmosphere on this planet, but the idea is the same. This is a metal planet. This is a barren planet, and that's the hard thing, is keeping it nope, I don't know where I'm going with that, but keeping it a lot very different and unique from each other planet, because you don't have time to have one person just sit there and make each planet special. Although that would make it better for immersion. You would just have to shrink down the number of planets.
Absolutely.
Because even Elite Dangerous does that, and that imitates the Milky Way galaxy. I know they gave it to a computer program to populate the Milky Way, because we don't know all the stellar bodies in our Milky Way yet. Yeah. Because they're stellar. Well, no, it's because we recently, because of where we're positioned, there's a lot of stellar bodies blocking our view, and we recently found, this is a sidebar in outer space, that we recently found that there were more hidden galaxies, and we just had to wait till we moved in the galaxy to see behind the other stellar. We're like, oh shit, that wasn't there before, because we're moving. Yeah. But the same thing applies to video games in the sense of, the vastness and whatever. So I wouldn't mind if there were 30 planets, but they were highly detailed 30 planets. I don't need the whole fucking solar galaxy to be explorable for me to enjoy it. I just want,
understandable.
I want to feel the immersion and specialty of each planet. So if Starfield can do that, that's a big win for me.
All right. Well, we'll look forward to that. Right now, Microsoft has it slated for the first half of 2023. We'll see how that goes.
We'll see.
I'll throw in one more before I go for my honorable mentions, because there's just so many good things coming out this year. But the one I'm super excited for, coming hot off of its Game of the Year win,
Oh my god.
we've got Armored Core 6, Fires of Rubicon. From Software will follow up with Armored Core 6. The trailer came out at Game Awards. We all saw it. We all lost our shit, threw something across the room, broke something. I don't know. I was fucking
Had a
dying.
boner.
I was at work, dude. I was in the middle of loading an aircraft, and I was just like watching. I had it watching like off on the side, like down here underneath my computer, like a little quiet so I could hear it, but enough where I could quiet enough to where it wouldn't like translate out to like radio talk, but I could hear it. And as soon as it came on, like I got up out of my chair, I clapped, I was like running around the office. I was just like, let's go. I was fucking hyped, dude. I have been waiting for a new Armored Core game for so freaking long. And the fact that I'm getting one and it's coming from Software is just balls, dude. Like nuts as fuck. One thing I want to bring up about it
Your bed's moving.
Yeah, I know my bed's moving because Patty's over there.
I just noticed that.
I just
Sorry. That's a clip. That's a clip.
He saw your leg come up. He was like, what the hell is that? I saw his face too. His face looked genuinely concerned for me, like for my safety.
He's
like,
someone's behind you, John. Get naked quickly.
All right. So in a follow-up interview with Hidetaki Miyazaki, apparently IGN found out that Fires of Rubicon is going to be set in a destroyed world and retain, here's my kicker, and retain the challenge, excuse me, and retain the challenging boss battles the studios become known for without turning Armored Core into a Soulsborne game.
Thank God.
Can you imagine what that even means? This is from Software saying, I'm going to make this game as fucking unique as fucking possible without taking away these massive boss battles, which is literally the shining gem, the star jewel of a From Software game. I'm so fucking excited for this. It's the first new entry in this series since 2012. Jesus. And the first new Armored Core game, or they've been working on it since at least 2016. So this game has been in the works for about 5 years, or no, 7 years almost now.
Yeah, quite a while. So it's slated right now with a release window of 2023. I certainly hope it comes out this year and doesn't get delayed. But if we know anything about From Software, they rarely ever delay their games and they get their shit done. So good on you, Miyazaki. I'm excited. Other than that, I'll just go through the honorable mentions. Hades 2 early access comes out this year sometime. We don't know when, but I'm gonna lose my shit when it does. We've got Assassin's Creed Mirage. Yeah, a little return to that old school Assassin's Creed 1 style kind of gameplay, which I'm excited for. They even sidebar on that. They released the narrator, you know, the person, the lady who's speaking in the Mirage trailer. They released her character, who's the mentor of Basim, the main character in Mirage. She is a character you can meet in Valhalla, but she's that's fucking cool how they link those two games together even further.
Yeah, fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
We talked about this one during I believe it was Summer Game Fest, Jack, or was it? Yeah, Summer Game Fest. Lies of P, that Souls-like Pinocchio game.
Yeah.
Lies of P.
Yeah.
It's the Pinocchio Dark Souls game.
Yeah, basically it's basically Dark Souls with the little guy that looks like Timothée Chalamet.
Yeah.
Oh, that one's coming out. That's a release window of 2023.
That looks so
right now, Insomniac is on slate to finish Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and have it released in the fall of 2023.
Sick.
This is the one that has Venom and Kraven, apparently. So let's see what the fuck happens.
I play the first one.
Who's Kraven?
Wait a minute. Kraven the Hunter.
Kraven the Hunter.
Oh,
he's a badass.
He is a badass. I'm gonna pull this one from IGN real quick because I'm reading it from here. Venom is going to be voiced by the Candyman actor Tony Todd.
Huh.
And Bill Roseman, one of the executives over at Marvel, has said that the sequel is darker than the original. So if you haven't played the original Spider-Man, it's not necessarily super dark, but it is definitely a step more into an adult-ish story when it comes to the narrative of Spider-Man games. It's not all happy-go-lucky all the time. It has its moments of, real like real drama.
Yeah, look at DC.
Yeah, but this one's supposed to be darker. This Spider-Man 2 is supposed to be the Empire Strikes Back to A New Hope.
Ooh, that sounds good.
The phrasing it that way makes me feel like they might kill off one of them, and I don't know who, and it makes me worried, but I'm super excited. And I can't wait because the first one, Marvel's Spider-Man, is just so good.
Yeah.
So good.
I'll know when I play it.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, that's right. Well, it's out on Steam now too.
I
so you
don't
can play
have
that.
money for a full price game.
Hey man, that game, you're paying full price of the original game, but getting all of the DLC with it.
The only full price I'm paying for Mass Effect Star Wars games. That's it. I don't extend beyond that.
I'm telling you, it's worth it.
Well, you can buy it for me because you're rich. So
The last one I'm gonna round out, and it's also the one that the IGN rounded out its list, but this one's an old gem for me. This one is one I've been waiting for. I know you're not super into storytelling games, but I loved this game so much.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
The Wolf
I love story, but like I don't like complete narrative story.
Yeah.
But anyway, continue.
The Wolf Among Us 2. I have been waiting for this game to exist. I have been waiting for this game to ever be talked about. I have just been waiting for this game.
When did the first one come out? How long ago did it come out?
Bro, it came out in like
Yesterday.
2015, I think.
Yeah, it was like hella old.
If I'm not wrong, I think I'm wrong.
I remember that shit being on fucking 360.
Yeah, that shit was old. Wolf Among Us came out 2013 to 2014.
Yeah,
About 10 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been 10 years since that game, and it's still one of my favorite Telltale games of all time.
Wait. I do like Telltale because I have
You like
Walking
The
Dead
Expanse.
season 1.
Oh,
The Expanse is coming out later this year, probably, and Tales of Monkey Island. So
they did Tales of Monkey Island?
yes,
Oh,
it was 5 episodes long.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, did I?
Yeah.
That's neat. But yes, The Wolf Among Us is basically a game that puts you in a modern world setting with a whole bunch of like fairyland creatures. So like you play as the big bad wolf and he's the sheriff of the town. And you've got Snow White, Cinderella, all the fairy tale creatures you come to know and love, but given a very dark, realistic take on them. And it's basically you play through as the big bad wolf and you try to solve this crime that has been committed, and it's just so good. It's so fucking good. If you haven't played The Wolf Among Us by now, it's 10 years too late for you, and you need to go do it right now. It's a super quick play. Like, it's not that long. I want to say maybe 10 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just such a good story, and the ending, it was such a good cliffhanger that I was mad.
You're like, you son of a bitch.
Super
And then
fucking
for-
mad.
yeah, and then for
that's why
that
I've been waiting
long-
for a sequel.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you waited that long.
I thought I was never gonna get it. I, honest to God, thought that it was just gone forever, and we were never gonna see. It was never gonna see the light of day. I was accepting of it, but I was not happy. Well, what a list!
Right?
Yeah. It's a list.
What's your guys' feel on this? Of the games we've just talked about, I know I already said which one I think has a running for it, and which ones I think. What do you think's going for Game of the Year this year, just off of what you see?
Damn.
Just give it a guess. We don't have to be right. We don't have to
I
be
don't
correct.
know.
This is
I'm
all,
not good
this
at
is all
this
personable.
guessing.
It's all personable. Like, what do you feel in your heart's really
Stop
out
using
there that's
that
gonna win
word.
this?
But yeah. I don't know. Fuck, that's hard. I have to think.
Maybe it just like as like a placeholder for now, it would have to be fucking Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom.
That's probably it,
that's smart.
considering
That's a smart one.
previous one was like an instant, win when that came out.
Yeah.
So
That's a
I'm
it's
hoping-
probably going to
yeah.
be it. Nintendo knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I'm
It's a
hoping that
favorite.
pop it.
Well, we'll have to see what happens when it comes down to how Breath of the Wild runs on the Switch too. We all saw what happened with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. It was
Oh
an
my
amazing
God.
game. It was it's still an amazing game.
Yes.
I still play it. I
Glitch
love
fest.
it. I have so much fun with it, but it is just not complete. It is
Mhm.
glitchy, and it's got its moments. You know, it should that game should run at 60 frames per second. Why doesn't it run at 60 frames per second? It bothers the shit out of me.
It's stupid. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree.
Really? Come on. I know there's another game you
I'm
can think of.
I'm going off the logic of the fact that Breath of the Wild is such a successful game. You have to put this on top of the plate. Is like this there's nothing else that'll stand a chance that I can think of for this year. Like Spider-Man wasn't even game of the year, and it's a fantastic game, but you know, it just wasn't game of the year. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to agree with the Zelda. Yeah.
Interesting. Mm-hmm. But that time is so far away. And for now,
because we just started,
we'll have to sit and wait through the rest of the year. I want to thank you guys for coming on the show. Thank you, everyone who tuned in to listen. And that is all the time we have for today.
Yep. Thank you, guys.
Special thanks to everyone who watched the whole episode. And for the new listeners, thanks for tuning in again. Again.
And again. And again.
This, if you don't remember, this is the For the Geeks Gamecast, where once every couple of weeks we sit around to talk about some of the biggest news in the games industry and how they make us feel. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe to our Twitch channel at For the Geeks, or twitch.tv/ForTheGeeksGames. If you want to further support the show, you can donate on our Twitch page, or we do have a $1 tier on Patreon, where we will post up all of our pre-show ramble and mamble and some post-show stuff and just some random funny things. It's only $1 if you want. It's going to help us. It's going to go all to like making sure everyone's got microphones. And as you can see in the video, Jack doesn't have a camera, so obviously we have to get him a camera.
We don't talk about it.
If not, that's fine. You can also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at For the Geeks with 2 S's at the end. Both of these links are on our link tree. You can also find us on YouTube at youtube.com/forthegeekspodcast. We have all of these links live in our bios, so please come by, show us support, give us a follow, and show the love. Until then, game like you mean it.
See y'all.
Deuces.